Ah! All right.
I'm always like wide awake after that scream comes on. Boom.
Yeah, no, it's necessary. It's definitely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So,
What's going on?
It's been 2 weeks since we last
2
spoke.
weeks.
We got so much to catch up on, right? We got like East Denver to recap. We've got some I don't know, maybe we didn't put the schedule, but maybe some more elephant shenanigans, more AFK stuff. I saw your algo rant. You went off a little bit. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Plus the naming service deal.
Right.
All that
naming service stuff.
I lost a token this week. we did that. I lost a whole lot of sleep.
Yeah, how did that go? I mean, before we start, how did I haven't been. I saw a little bit. Like I saw that it was up to like 5 or 6 cents, right?
And then no, I wish it went up to 5 or 6 cents. Actually, you know what? I don't wish it went up to 5 or 6 cents. It's this weird thing. So we've got our IDO was 0.02 algo. So we priced in algo.
Gotcha.
And then Yieldly jumped in and created some pools, and people could go and buy it. And people saw the Krypto Nerd name, and I think they jumped on it. Not very many people. I mean, legitimately, it's like 18 to 20 people, I think, bought it and drove the price up a little bit because there was hardly any liquidity when it first started. But they were big buys. I think it's what it bought for like $5,000 or something like that. But anyway, the price jumped up to 3.5 cents. So like right out of the gate, and then we did the pre-sale drop, which was relatively small. It was about 20% with our vesting distribution we dropped. But then a bunch of people, see, Ken says 200 people in that first dump. You know what's weird though is that everybody who participated in the pre-sale was up. So the 125 wallets that participated in the pre-sale, they were all up significantly. The average pre-sale price was 0.006. Honestly, I think we had too good of a pre-sale price. It was interesting. Yeah, Ken says a few people jumped in, and I appreciate that. Ken says some people defended Monty, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
maybe I'll put the chats on the screen here.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I didn't. I've been in and out for the past week, and I saw that it launched. I did see on Discord, did Monty just like rug pull us? And they were joking. And
some people weren't joking, like they just didn't know me, or they didn't know who I was, or I don't know. But
so, and I mean, but very quickly, the sentiment was not like, look.
Oh yeah.
It would make a lot of sense for you to pull a rug and then be like, "Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Krypto.
Welcome to the show." We've got
watching.
We've got a lot of cool partnerships coming out. We just didn't launch them all. I need folks to have this in their wallet so we get users, and we want to distribute it a lot. Part of the reason is you need a certain amount in your wallet to participate in the Citrus website and some other cool partnerships that we've got coming. Launch pads, IDOs. Initially, it'll be this sort of a project review board, though. But we are full steam ahead, and all the liquidity's in there. We're thinking about maybe locking up the liquidity pool token so people know we're not going to rug pull, so they know it's going to stay in there. Give people a sense of comfort there. We're looking at Tiny Lock, but Tiny Lock's not audited. I didn't realize that. They've got a bounty program I think they're putting out, and we might still choose to participate, but there's an extra layer of risk there. And it's not a small sum of money. So, if they got hacked or something,
you're wondering if because it's mainly ceremonial, right? You're just saying, hey guys, look, I won't do anything. But I think there's a level of security just in the fact that you're a public figure in our community. So I think people should rest assured that you're not trying to tank this whole thing that you've been building for the past year.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not going to delete the YouTube and the websites and we're moving forward. We fully incorporated in Texas, so we're a real company out here.
Yeah. Good for you, man. And so just to catch me up real quick, and then we'll move on to the other topics. But so Yieldly, the nerd token is live for staking on Yieldly.
Yes, you can stake Yieldly for Nerd. So just like our other staking pools, they announced, I think they want to put out 20 pools for ASAs. We're one of those. We've actually been in communication with them. I think we started in December, actually, right after Decipher. So this whole thing started, kickstarting at Decipher.
Yeah.
December, we started the process. Took a few months to kind of get it right, and then we finally launched. So yes, you can stake Yieldly and earn Nerd.
Right.
And then if you are inclined, you can take the nerd and Yieldly and contribute to the pool on Tiny Man. And then you can restake those Tiny Man
LP
pool tokens. Yeah. And that APR the second time around is quite juicy. So there's a lot of folks on there. I saw some screenshots of people making $100 a day worth of Yieldly. And, you know, they had accumulated because they'd staked a bunch of Yieldly, the entire time earning nerd, and then went over and I don't know if they bought a small amount too or what have you. But and then they just paired it up with Yieldly in the staking pool, which is nice. I think we got, I don't know, 120,000 or something like that in the staking pool. Nice. In the main pool, there was at one point it was just over 3 million staked, Yieldly staked, to get the nerd token. 3 million TVL, like that just blew my mind. So it was nice.
It looks like Krypto for Change is curious about when he's going to be invited to come on.
We should do that like next week.
What next week?
Come on.
See, look at that. Ask and you shall receive.
There you go.
So, okay, that's fantastic, man. And so how much nerd before we, you know, I know you just did an interview with JT. I'm not trying to turn this into the Recoup interviews, Monty. But how many nerd do you need to hold in order to participate in Citrus?
We're thinking 10,000 is the number now, and that number will decrease if the value of nerd increases.
I'm joking. I'd have to fit. You have a whole thing. I mean, what would I? You can like fractionalize ownership of my shirts. I don't know.
That's not a bad idea. You should put out a Coop shirt line, and then
I should actually.
You could fractionally ownership. You can see the ownership of the LLC.
Right,
there's a company right now that does that out of Israel, I think, on Algorand.
Oh, really? All right. Well, there we go. I'll look into it.
All right, new business coming up. All right, speaking of new business, let's get the show on the road. Let's talk about ANS names versus NFD. NF domain. What's the full name there? NF domains.
I think it's NF domains. Yeah,
I think so.
And that's Algorand naming service.
Algorand naming service. So both of them have .algo.
Yeah.
As their like reserved name, and there's a lot of hoopla here and a lot of confusion around, you know, which one should we use and which one shouldn't we use and what's going on right now. And somebody went in and scooped a bunch of names too. I saw Chris Winter from Reach. Somebody scooped up Reach.algo, and he put out a tweet that said, "Hey, I'm not interested in paying you a boatload of money for this. Just know that I'm waiting for, you know, NF domains." Yeah. So I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and well, a Crypto Nerd got taken too. I noticed that the Recoup was taken.
Somebody snagged the Recoup. Man, like they were fast.
They were fast. And so I saw, but actually Recoup.algo was fine. So I didn't know, you know, look, I'm a little confused. Maybe you know more than me, and that's okay. But I embrace that. But so, okay, the Algorand naming service, which is the one that everyone says, no, that's not the real one. Like, you guys need to relax. But okay, that's fine. I mean, I paid 5 algo for Recoup.algo. I'm not like, I'm not emotional about this, but I just figured, well, I'll just grab that just in case. And so, but my question is that how do they both exist with .algo?
Isn't that tough? So, a little bit of background, right? So ANS is run by, I think, a couple of really bright recent college graduates, or maybe even college students right now, a couple of young guys. They've got a couple of good connections. Right. And they put this out. They didn't have an Algorand Foundation grant or any connection to the community other than, I mean, arguably a pretty good idea. And they were first to market. It is only a naming service, and apparently it's easy to tie into social media. And if the provider, so let's say MyAlgo, they choose to subscribe to one of these services. So if MyAlgo said, we want to subscribe to ANS, then the ANS protocols would take over, and the ANS addresses would be live. You can't subscribe to both unless one of them changes their name. If I was ANS, I would have changed it to .algorand or .rand or something.
Or Silvio.
You're right. There was nothing to stop them from doing that.
But it seems to me that they're being like, well, we're first. So
maybe they're trying to stake their ground, but a bunch of the community has already decided, hey, no, we're waiting. You know, we're not going to subscribe to this protocol, this service. we're going to wait for the other one to come around. So if I send it to cryptonerd.algo, it's going to go to my NFD cryptonerd.algo address, not the ANS cryptonerd.algo.
Oh my God. See, it's already a clusterfuck.
Right.
So okay. But when I did the ANS one, like I linked my algo wallet, and that's what I did. So is that not my algo subscribing to ANS?
I don't think so. I don't think
I couldn't do the official Algorand wallet. All I could do, I think it was like,
oh yeah, when you purchase it, it says which address purchased it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, is this just garbage? Did I just give?
I think Rand Gallery might be using ANS.
Okay.
Last I saw, they were the only one, major corporation or player in the Algorand community that had chosen to go that route. And I'm not sure, if they just chose for right now, or if they just said, oh well, I'll take this one until the other one comes along. I don't know.
Yeah,
what Kraken was thinking over there.
Well, right. I mean, Rand Gallery isn't a small part of this ecosystem.
Yeah.
When it comes to like actually using, Rand Gallery has a lot of activity. But what all right. I mean, I still sort of don't understand. So the only thing is I see serious people being like, no, NF Domains is the real team. That's the real thing. I think it's just a link to an address, and it depends on the services that support these addresses on what you can do with this.
Yeah, so it's the support, like each company. So let's say who else has a lot of so Tiny Man. So Tiny, well, you can't really send money via Tiny. But anyway, but if a big big group said, okay, we want to our protocol is hooked up to NFD. You can't have both. You can't have cryptonerd.algo for one service and the other service. They have to choose which one to send it to. So they have to subscribe to one service or the other. It's sort of like, beta or VHS. Are you going to print your movie in both? Or are you going to print your movie in one or the other? One company's going to take VHS and the other one's not.
Got it. So and another nice thing about NF Domains is that it's going to be a one-time fee, right?
Yeah. And they're doing much more than just the naming service as well, right? It's like a whole suite of products on the back end. And of course, Patrick and John are very active in the community and have been for a long time, and have done joint projects with Algorand in various capacities.
Yeah.
So I think they've done a lot of stuff.
Got it. When does that go live? When can we get that?
I think we're waiting another 3 months. I think Patrick is always very tight-lipped about that. But I don't know. That's my guess.
So basically, Algorand naming service saw that this was coming and was like, "Well, we can get this. We can get this to market so much faster. Why don't we just go for it?"
Yeah.
And now they've done it, and they're hoping that because they're first, that all of these like Rand and all of these different places are going to be like, "All right, we'll just go with that." I mean, is there a scenario where NFD or NF Domains has to adjust, and now they're like .rand or their
I would hope so. If they want to live in the world for quite a while, I think they should change their dot name and kind of hope that they get secondary status on a lot of these other chains, or not chains, but businesses or connections.
Wait, are you talking about ANS or are you talking about NFD?
ANS should change. NFD is already ahead of them, even though they're not on the market. NFT is just light years ahead of them because of the adoption by all the businesses.
Got it. All right, there we go. All right.
I think it'll be good to have some competition, but I think in this case, I bet they still made a boatload of money. I don't know what their wallet address is. Somebody here probably could track it down what their wallet address is. But if they got 5 algo from everybody that registered a name, how many names got registered? Does anybody in the community know like how many names got registered? Crypto for Change, Ken, Mike, what do you got? But they collected at least 5 algo for each name that got registered. And in some cases, if your name was shorter, it was expensive. It was expensive, yeah. So I don't know how much they collected. Maybe they're just like, okay, we'll release this, grab a bunch of money so we can afford to change it over to .rand, and then re-release it under .rand. I don't know.
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, my recoup was 6 letters, so it was only 5 for me.
Yeah.
So
I think. By the way, somebody from the community found Crypto Nerd and got it and sent it back to me. So I don't know how it happened, what the communication was. There was like some back alley dealings, but a community member sent me a message on Twitter. Like, hey, nerd, guess what? I got the hookup for you. All you have to do is log into ANS and accept your wallet transfer back. And so I actually got cryptonerd.algo back from whoever it was that was, sitting on all of the, on all the names. So I don't know who that person was. Apparently they tracked down their wallet and somebody recognized it and got it back for me. So I'm appreciative of whoever coughed that up.
Well, so that was just like a donation from the community being like, hey man, I just did this for you. There you go.
Yeah, it was very cool.
That is very cool. Well, so now you're like whatever, ANS, NFD, whatever.
Yeah,
now I've got
now I've got Crypto Nerd.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So now I'm covered. I'm sorry about the recoup.
Okay.
But maybe now somebody will go out there and find it.
Well, but actually the recoup looks like a jumble of words. Recoup is probably clear anyways.
Yeah, recoup does look clear.
That does.
All
right. All right. Good.
All right, good stuff. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about ETH Denver because
let's do it, man.
We haven't caught up. I know you posted a review, on your own channel, but let's share the shared audience here. Let's kind of give them your take on it.
Well, I mean, look, I'd never been to Denver. It's cold. It smells like weed. And it's, I had a good time there. Meeting everybody was fantastic. And Stacey Warden is like, she's got a whole thing going. She's got like a vibe. Great, right? She's great, man. Like, it's good. That's definitely good. I think that the change of, oh my God. I've already forgot his name. Sean Lee. Sean Lee was fantastic. Jesus Christ. How quickly I move on. I'm like, what's his name? What's his name? But he was great. But I think that we have somebody that's more of a powerhouse, somebody that is like kind of willing to be bold. So that's really exciting for me. Oh, there he goes. He found the address. See how quickly. And man. I mean, look, it's all about the EVM. It was all about EVM, AVM interoperability. That's what it was. And getting developers to move over to Algorand and to start developing, making it easier for developers. So those two super grants and then you get to meet all the people behind the projects. You get to hear about the new projects. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wish I was there. I'm going to have to not commit to not missing any more events. And so I went to Decipher. You went to this one. And so the next one we're both going to go to. They're going to lose their minds.
It's going to be so much.
Coop and Nerd at the same spot. Boom.
Well, yeah. And then I was there with Ibu from Algo HQ. So I got to meet him. That was cool. He's very young. He's like 22 fucking years old. I was like, wow, I'm old enough to be your dad. I'm old enough to be your dad.
Literally, my kid is older than him.
I don't have that problem, but that's funny. And so anyways, are you going to be at South by Southwest?
Yes, on the 14th, I think it is. Is that the right date? I think so.
What's happening on the 14th?
Algorand's got a pop-up event or something like that's going on. So we'll be down there.
All right. I might actually come for that. Yeah. So maybe I'll meet you then. What was I going to say?
I don't know, but in the meantime, Mike found the balance. It's about almost $65,000 that ANS has raised so far. Not a bad chunk of change.
Algo.
Yeah. Algo. So what is that, like 58,000 or 57,000 US?
What is it, like 85 cents right now?
Yeah.
There it is. So yeah, that's not if for something that if might not last. They did a great job.
Yeah, right. It is what it is there.
It is.
All right, sorry. Back to ETH Denver. So
back to ETH Denver. So everybody, what was I going to say? Well, you were saying I'm going to show up to all. You're going to have to show up to. You're never going to miss these. But from what I hear, Algorand is showing up to all of these. So you're going to have a very busy traveling schedule.
Yeah, and they are busy.
And it seems to me from the outside listening in is that everybody kind of sees 2022 as Algorand's coming out year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of like you see it like with like a grin on their faces being like, this is our year. So it just made me, as somebody that likes to speculate, like, okay, this looks like people are happy about what they know. There's some cool 100%. Stuff coming.
Yeah, they've got the insider, like they've got their eyes are smiling. There's a little gleam there, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I wish I knew what you knew exactly, Kelly, but I'm
I'm
on board now. So let's
For sure.
So,
And state proofs, that state proofs went on testnet. So that technology is getting ready to, to make it to mainnet, prime time, whatever. So I think it's a good time. Other than, the world being in complete shambles, I think that Algorand is positioned well in this space that we're in, for sure.
I agree. I feel like the marketing I feel like they've been slow playing it, really, until they had a couple of pieces in place. And then, more developers, some education out there. So, they had I feel like there's a master plan. I hope there's a master plan. They're not just winging it, right?
Yeah.
But it feels to me like it's thought out and it's purposeful. Which I appreciate the plan.
Yeah, me too. And I would like to see, we would all like to see, I would like to see USDC algo be accepted on like Coinbase. That's something that I would very much like to see, is us be able to send our USDC that's in ASA, because that will open up the floodgates on ASAs being on big exchanges.
Yes. So, once they put that in place, then it's just a matter of time before our largest ASAs is still Yieldly.
I think so.
Yes, I mean, Yieldly would be next. Yieldly's been listed in a few different places. They're trying to get, I think a few other ASAs, would be, shortly thereafter, maybe Opulus if they're still algo friendly. There's some other big players, I think, that would move in.
What did you just say? So except Opulus if they're still, or maybe if they're still
algo friendly. Yeah. Right. Because I mean,
are you like checking?
They play both sides, right? They play because of the audience of ETH, and I don't blame them. Business decision. They need to capture that ETH audience, and the Algorand audience isn't quite all there yet. But he's always like, hey, as soon as Algorand is ready, like I'm all in. And so hopefully when Algorand is ready, he's all in. Pulls the trigger on that. I have no reason to doubt that. It's just he's definitely playing both sides now, and arguably monetarily, it's a much wider audience on the ETH world.
Of course. But it's also a much bigger, it's easy to get lost in the mix over there. You're, small. If we're a little smaller right now, Lee's a star on Ethereum, what's his star power like?
Yeah. Right. I don't know. He got into it. He mixed up with JT the other day on Twitter. Did you see that?
I saw that.
I was like, wow.
Sometimes I look at these things and I think, oh, well, I'm not chiming in on this.
All right.
I'll let them figure that out. Yeah, exactly. I know. Right. Well, I do notice that sometimes he's like, why are you guys so fucking mean to me, man? Like, I'm trying to do this on Opulus. You guys being mean to me. Algorand is taught. It's like, dude, no. All of these communities are going to ask questions and push back. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Krypto changed on his Twitter polls. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's where it was. So it was. It's interesting to see those dynamics play out sometimes. But I don't know. He always mixes the mixed pot up, right? He gets attention.
That's it.
So, I don't know. Good, bad, ugly,
whatever.
All right. Anything else out of ETH Den that you took away for the audience here?
I mean,
you hosted a couple of roundtables or discussions. I guess they weren't really a roundtable. It was like a straight line talk. But
it was like a me on a stool looking massive.
Yeah,
I saw. I was like, wow, this is like, damn. Okay, my wife's right. Maybe not so much candy at night, but So there was a line. Yeah, a line. I did a panel on DAOs, and then I emceed one of the days.
Yeah. Okay. That's very cool. Well, your experience there, everybody, changing, swapping out introductions for the camera. Do you have a handler there that take good care of you?
Yeah. There was a fantastic Irish guy. And now I'm forgetting his name, which sucks, but doesn't matter. He's a really nice guy. And then, so he was helping me, and it was just, trying to pronounce names right. Have maybe a joke in between, just trying to have some fun. Yeah.
Yep. I found that they were great when I did the second stage over to Decipher. They guided me through everything. They're like, okay, here's what's happening next. At one point in time, they're like, hey, Monty, you need to go up there and stall for about 5 minutes. So I had to go up on stage and just, I'm not like you, I have like to stand up in my routine. So I just had to talk about real estate, fractional home ownership, because that's my other background. And I don't know, went over okay, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been my dream. Then be like, hey, can you go up there for 5 minutes and stall? Because then it would have given me an excuse. I'm not my dream, because who knows how it would have gone. But Yeah, because I did have some jokes that I was going to say. I was like, all right, is this my time? I haven't been on stage in 2 years. Maybe I should try to fit in some jokes. And I came out on that day, and then I looked out at the crowd, and it was pretty packed because they had just done a all woman breakfast, all female breakfast. So the initial crowd was, there was a lot of people. And so it's too good in Florida to not hang by the pool. Have fun talking out there.
Yep. Cheers.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. But anyways, the point is that I looked out into the crowd and I thought, well, these people do not want
this type of joke. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
So you read the room.
I read the room and thought, okay, moving forward.
All right. Yeah. We'll stick to the script.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Sticking to the script here.
Okay.
Lottery.com.
That's right.
Is that a good partnership for Algorand? Do we want to have more gaming, gambling type of activity? Yeah. All right. Any qualms there about the ethics of, associating with a company like that? And there's nothing Algorand could do about it. It's just, it's open source, but any thoughts there? You seem bullish on it. What do you think of the good points for the community?
Well, I think that it just once again shows that, things like this are going to be building on Algorand because of its speed, its how cheap it is, and all the things, how secure it is, all the things that we already know. Yeah. So I mean, I don't really look. I mean, the lottery, like, should you participate in the lottery is a very different question on whether it's bullish for Algorand that Lottery.com is building on it. Like, I mean, look, yes. I mean, lottery isn't everybody's path towards riches. So. Yeah. And it can be, obviously there's addiction to gambling and all that, but that, to me, that doesn't really play into whether this is a good thing or not.
I agree. So I think that having a company like this adopt Algorand and put together a gaming site is good. I also like the casino coin. I also like the stuff Mercury Labs is doing. I think all of that is needed. There's an audience for that. And some of the technology that they are going to come up with as they develop these sites can be used elsewhere. Right. So they're going to figure out new ways to do things that are valuable for other services. Yeah. And so I think that, other ways to distribute NFTs, prize games, things like that. So they can come up with interesting ways to maybe help the shuttles in the future, or, there's other applications besides, just truly gambling, that kind of thing. I think that games could be, everybody's talking about gamifying stuff. So gamifying technology and use cases is valuable, not just for actual gaming, right? There's a lot of other places that can go.
Yeah, and they will
it is the 14th. Ryan says, what's it going to be like on the 14th? Any details?
Austin, Texas would be like, any details on a date for Hack Algo Miami?
Yeah, so I don't know about Hack Algo Miami, but I do know about the Algo Ranch should be fun.
The 14th is Monday. I think I can swing that, actually. I have never been to Austin. Maybe I should do this. Anyways,
so I'm thinking about going down Saturday night, I think, and cruising around Saturday, and then attending the event on Monday, and meeting some folks and hanging out, and then heading back.
Cool. Yeah, I might come up. I might go on the 13th.
All right.
Maybe I will. All right.
Austin's weird. They got a whole campaign to keep Austin weird.
Well, good. Keep it weird.
Keep it weird.
Keep it weird. Do whatever you got to do. Keep it the way you want it to stay. I don't let California come out and just flood Austin and change you. You know what I mean? Everybody I know has moved to Austin. We almost moved to Austin on a whim just to get out of where we are, but we didn't do that. Lottery.com. Yeah, I mean, obviously the lottery is going to move to blockchain. Play to earn. I mean, this is such a logical thing for this type of thing to move to. And it's going to be, I think that their plans, what is it called? Project Nexus. So they'll have
it sounds very like secretive, doesn't it? It sounds like a James Bond, like Mission Impossible kind of thing. Project Nexus.
There's a lot of Project Nexuses. When you Google Project Nexus, it's not just lottery.com.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And then it's like sports betting, right? And like sweepstakes, like what was that? The Ed McMahon. Do you remember what was that?
Oh yeah. One of those things though is the Ed McMahon didn't actually walk around and deliver those checks. It's one of those Mandela moments.
Yeah.
So I forget who it was. It was somebody else, not Ed McMahon, that did the sweepstakes stuff. Go figure. But everybody remembers Ed McMahon. You're gonna have to Google this.
Yeah, you got it. If you don't remember it, you got like a golden ticket in the mail or something. You got some fancy thing that made you feel like you won something in the mail.
Yeah. So everybody thinks it was a publisher's house sweepstakes or something like that. But I forget what it actually was, but publisher's house was different. But yeah, something like that. I dig the I don't know, the airtime, the PR, the additional use case. I'm pro lottery.com, I guess. I'm saying it.
You're putting yourself out there.
Putting myself out there. ProLottery.com.
He gets there. You guys, you hear that? Lottery.com. You got his stamp of approval.
Oh yeah, Lottery.com wants to sponsor my shows. Then let me know.
I'm open. You guys know that I'm open. All right.
Anything on that? We should move on.
No, I think Lottery.com. We did it.
Okay, there we go. What about Algofi passing up Yieldly in TVL? So I forget what the actual number was. I was 60 million, something like that more.
I'm sure we could look it up, but
we probably could. Somebody in the audience probably knows offhand.
Yeah, so I'm not looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to Owen from Algofi earlier this week, and I was just like,
"Oh yeah, great interview stuff." Yeah.
Yeah, and that was I'm very bullish on those guys. Those guys, they definitely seem to know what they're doing for sure.
Yeah, they've got their ducks in a row, and like young guys, but really, really smart, really patient, really disciplined. So that's what impresses me most, that they're disciplined. I find that consistency and discipline are the keys to success. And that holds true in the crypto world as well, especially what they're doing. I think when you're dealing with the financial aspect of it. So super impressed with what they've done so far.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right about like consistency and discipline, no matter how it's going, even from, I'm sure you've experienced with Crypto Nerd, is that if you stay disciplined and you stay consistent, you might have some bad episodes. I know I look back at some of my episodes and think, oh man.
Yeah. How did that happen? Shoot.
That guy, you were a little too enthusiastic, but like, but whatever I feel like, but I guess the point is that yes, Algofi, I mean, right now, like if there's anybody listening that isn't kind of at least going over to Algofi and trying to figure it out, you're missing out. There's opportunity right now.
Oh, hello, family.
Baby, right now is not actually the time, but I'll put this on real quick.
Do it.
Yeah, I did it.
All right, for everyone out there. So I think there's some new staking options too that are coming out.
Gotta go.
I want it to look like a gem.
Oh,
do that right now. She wants it to look like a gem, guys. She wants it to look like a gem.
Stop it.
Okay, but I'm actually. Let's not do this right now. I have a daughter. You can stake. It's a DEX now. It's obviously the lending protocol. It's got all the things there. They have they also have that cool Zap feature.
Yes. Yeah. So you can just take Algo and it'll automatically convert to the pool for you. So it'll buy a rebalance for you of whatever asset that you want, right?
Exactly. So you don't have to sit there with your calculator and guess or round down or whatever it is you're doing. Like that's a pretty, I mean, there's other protocols like on Ethereum that do this, but like I thought that was really cool. And then they have, a launch pad. They want to be a launch pad as well.
Yeah.
Now those guys are very legit, I mean, Owen's like a particle physicist. They come from the traditional finance world, like good jobs in the traditional finance world. These guys aren't like, they're young, smart guys. And so you can't just do a launch pad. I think we're going to be talking about launch pads. Launch pads are difficult.
Yep. Yeah.
Because
there's a lot of work that goes into them. And you're right. We will talk about that. I do want to touch on staking though. There's, because Yieldly is doing a bunch of the staking. Obviously they were the spot to stake for a long time. Yeah. Algofi has got some staking options, right? Or they've got pools, I guess, right?
They've got pools, and you can stake stable. You can stake stable for like 10%.
And there's Algo stake now, which it seems like it's gaining ground. Do you have any staking activities? Are you invested in that kind of way? Do you?
Well, yeah, I do have like I do have some LP tokens with Zone. I have that just because I like punishment. I stake on Yieldly, and I'm staking a little bit of stable on Algofi.
Okay.
So yeah, I do.
I haven't done the staking on AlgoFi yet, but I have been staking on Unity since pretty much day one, as soon as they were allowing it, right?
Yeah.
Right after the no loss lottery, kind of got us in the mode to kind of go check in with them daily and claim and do what we have to. And now it's just kind of part of my routine. I set my alarm for 10:38 so I can go in and check my staking and see what's going on, make sure everything's right, and then it rolls over.
Yeah, 10:30. That would be the time. Yeah, because I do it at 9. I do it.
Yeah.
No,
you do it 8:30 or 8:45 or something along those lines. That's when it flips for me. So I applaud competition, and it's going to be interesting to see how Yieldly responds, because they've had a big first mover advantage, in my opinion, and they've had a couple of missteps. They've done mostly good for the community by and large. But I think competition is good because it forces everybody to, evolve to the next level. And, I don't know, maybe they'll do a launch pad or something coming up.
Well, they've talked about that forever. Haven't they talked about their launch pad, their NFT marketplace? Look, I'm bullish on Yieldly, and I think it's great. I don't really know. I mean, I'd like to see competitors. I think that we want to see competitors, and we want to see the ecosystem grow, and so that's all fantastic. I don't really know a lot about AlgoStake. I know we talked about AlgoStake recently, but I still have the same answer. I don't quite know. I do know that, AlgoStake basically works as long as projects are willing to provide some tokens, right? Because and that's basically the way Yieldly works as well. But it's very centralized, right? AlgoStake isn't using smart contracts. It's like, as long as they keep it going, it's great. But then they can kind of,
Are you saying AlgoStake, if they wanted to, they could run and take all the ASAs? And I mean, I guess there is a little less certainty with AlgoStake, just because they haven't been around as long. They're not as exposed, doxed, out there in the public. Like Yieldly is. Obviously, Seb makes the rounds. Everybody knows him. I think Aaron makes a lot of rounds as well. So there's a level of confidence, I think, that's higher with Yieldly.
Well, yeah, and then just with the idea of smart contracts, like, those things execute on their own. You don't need a centralized body in order to make sure it keeps on going.
Yeah, but Ryan's participating in the Yieldly nerd pool. All right, nice. Thank you. Yes, we want to get nerd into everybody's hands. And do me a favor, Ryan, please go take your nerd and contribute to the Tiny Man nerd Yieldly pool, and then go double stake in that pool, liquidity pool, in Yieldly.
Yeah, and then also with Ryan, and I hope I'm getting this right, but I believe Ryan is the guy that posts the daily shuffles, all the different like NFT shuffles that you should be in. So that guy, every once in a while on Twitter, he'll tweet all the shuffles, and then I'll know where to go. So Ryan's a good resource.
That is a valuable service. I need that. Service. I have no idea where those shuffles are. Yeah, you hit one every once in a while, don't you?
I try. I almost never hit them. I've never. I won one. I've won one shuffle, and I've won maybe a couple, but I won a Pixel Guy shuffle. I won the last one of those, and today's my day. Today, in about an hour and 15 minutes, I get a Pixel Gal because I have a Pixel Guy.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I think I also have a drop coming today because I have an Algowana. Let me flex my Algowana muscles here. Let me flex my Algowana mug.
Oh, is that your Algowana?
This is not actually my Algowana. I've got Algowana 246, I want to say. He's wearing an Algorand hoodie and some DJ headphones. But but they're dropping, I think they're dropping fruit today. Pineapples and strawberries.
Oh,
and if you talked about this, feed your pineapple or strawberry to your guana, I think it like mutates, and I forget which mutation it is. It either turns into like a zombie or some kind of a mutant thing.
That's awesome.
I don't. There's too much going on for me to follow like in depth, but they put out a whole paper that was awesome, and I think today's the day. You reminded me earlier because you're getting your Pixel guys and gals kind of paired up.
Yeah, and you is pretty funny. Somebody commented, maybe it was Algo Hitman, I'm not sure, but somebody watched our video from a couple weeks ago and they were like, it was pretty funny listening to Krypto Nerd talk about pineapples and
eating strawberries or whatever. Yeah, yeah,
I love it.
And this is our professional take on pineapple mutant lizards.
Yeah.
with a straight face, we start talking about it.
Yeah, I'm like, well, my guy's getting me a gal today. Well, actually, mine doesn't sound that ridiculous. Yours about mutant lizards feeding them pineapples and strawberries is much more fun.
Yes, that's pretty far out there. It should be interesting though. I mean, the project, the eggs for oh yeah, that was Hendrix. All right.
Oh,
the Algoana eggs were selling way over what Benji had decided they really should be worth. So he had to make some adjustments because I think they were on the secondary market for like 2,000 algo or something like that, if memory serves me right. So
I saw that, yeah.
And he was thinking like, hey man, the V2 distribution that these are actually worth, the missing price is going to be way less than that. You guys are out of your mind. But the community didn't listen and they drove up the price anyway. And so I think he had to make some changes to keep the everybody protected who spent money on those things in the secondary.
Well, yeah, good. I think the ones that now I don't know this at all, but because I'm following this from a distance because I don't own an Algoana, but is that if you had one of these eggs from the early distribution, they have special traits or something. There's a special qualities.
Some of them do. Like mine is just a boring old green egg. So I've got like your common base. I'm super basic guana. Oh. So my green.
Oh wait, but didn't you miss out on your egg, or did you get that?
Oh, I bought it on the secondary.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I think we might have been talking about that, and I was like, oh, should I? Shouldn't I? I don't think I'm going to. Well, I did.
You did it.
Yeah.
And so the issue now is that Benji's kind of like, hey guys, relax. Like V2 is meant to expand the community. These aren't going to be super high mint prices. There's going to be a bunch of these, and so stop spending $2,000 on your eggs. Is basically what he was saying.
Yep. Yeah. So now we'll see what happens with the version of V2. It should be interesting.
Yeah.
We digress just a little bit. I think we're supposed to be talking about launchpads here.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Who's going to hit the market first and who's going to do it right? I can tell you, from personal experience and talking to other creators, it is a nightmare trying to do all this stuff on your own and figure out, okay, you kind of cobble together technology, and if you've got a good developer or coder, they can help you with scripts to do distributions, but none of that stuff is audited, and it's not exactly super safe, right? So it's kind of the wild west. So do you have any feelings on who's going to launch their IDO first, what's going to happen, and how that's going to what do you see the future like on it?
So what do I see the future of launch pads on Algorand?
Who are you watching for that? AlgoFi? There's another one, AlgoFund. I've talked to those guys in the past. I like them a lot. Yieldly says they're coming out with one. I think Chris Swinner's working on. He's working on about everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, also Zone talks about a launch pad, and then your elephant.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, your elephant will give you access to their launch pad, but unfortunately, again, like the U.S. citizens basically get left out of launch pads.
Yeah. We're working on a launch pad at Citrus as well. So we're in that game. Ours isn't slated for Q4 though. It's such a lengthy process.
Yeah.
I wanted to yell at developers and be like, no, I want it now. But they're like, no, Monty.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. You need to hire about 80 more developers and give us, that'll buy you 2 extra months. I'm like, that's not going to happen already. Back to work. Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't hold my breath either for AlgoFi based on my conversation with him. I don't think that that's coming in the next couple of months or anything like that. Yeah. So the only place that I've heard consistently talk about a launch pad for extended period of time is Yieldly. Like they've been talking about a launch pad. It's been on their roadmap forever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm curious to see how this works because every time there's a launch pad, I can't access it because we're in the United States. U.S. can't access. Yeah, no, it's such a bummer. And there's such a large population that is here in the U.S. Like Algodex. Algodex, I have a hard time accessing. Yeah. And so it's difficult. I mean, I know the Algorand community is worldwide and everybody else has access, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous. Right? Yeah. Everybody else has access there.
Right, for sure. But every time there's even like one of those, like if you want to take part in some, like one of those like Equinox or whatever drops, you can never do that either. Yeah, can't opt in. And some states are even more strict. So Texas is strict sometimes. New York strict. So
You lose out, even if you've got like trust or like Coinbase or something like that. A lot of times New York people lose out.
But I mean, I guess these launches on IDOs, like on DEXs, though, we should, there must be a way for, because what's the matter? Just as long as you don't have to KYC, then it's, I don't know. But I think the point is that these projects, when they get started, they want to make sure that they're not all immediately in trouble. And the United States, so hopefully the United States will bring some clarity to that. But
I'm hoping on it. I'm thinking on it. If not, if it's too difficult with the infrastructure, the regulations that are happening now, I'm thinking like, hey, maybe Crypto Nerd Citrus could partner with one of these launch pads going up, and we could bring an audience to them or something along those lines, where projects come to us, and then we say, okay, we're going to partner here, and we'll sponsor this launch, and give you some advice, how to go through that. Because it's complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated. And I mean, your platform is basically, looking to vet different projects and to shed light and have, prop up good projects. So it seems like that, you would be a good partner for that if you don't have the Launchpad native to be a good partner to. Yeah, I think that's
at least we could find somebody else to kind of send that traffic to that's trustworthy and reliable. If Yieldly had one, I think they would be the leader just because they've already been an established name. I feel like the guys over at Algo Fund. I don't know if you've checked them out.
I need to know more about this. I've had people ask me about Algo Fund. I know they got verified right before I think Algorand stopped verifying projects, but I've had a lot of. I don't know much about Algo Fund. I've been asked to look at Algo Fund, but I don't know much about it.
Well, they're a younger project, obviously, because we have a lot of folks haven't heard of them. They're based out of I don't know if they're based out of Paris or France, but they're definitely in Europe. They've got staking options right now. If there's any projects out there that aren't already staking on Yieldly or AgoStake or something, you can go stake with them. I think they just went live with that yesterday or last week. It's literally brand new. So you can go stake with them. They even got some pooling options, I believe. Their IDO is not coming out, or not their IDO like a launchpad type deal is not coming out until summertime, I think, according to their roadmap and their plans. But I mean, all that stuff takes a long time to get audited and get verified. They haven't been really active in the community though, so I think I'm going to try and ask them to step in a little bit more and be more vocal, so that the community gets to know them and figure out, hey, do we want to trust these guys?
Right.
And if they are legitimate and they're doing things the right way, then maybe they might be the first one that actually is viable. And they're not based in the U.S. I don't know how that impacts things, but
that's probably a good thing.
Probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's probably probably makes it better. So have you had them on your show?
I haven't had him on the show. I've had a couple of conversations with him, just sort of touching base. Okay, what's going on with the project now? And they launched their own coin, which was met relatively well. It looks like. I think I forget what the acronym is. But it's
Is it? Yeah, I think it's ALGF actually, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, so you can verify it on Tiny Chart and track it and that sort of thing.
Cool.
But I would check them out, and they're just somebody to watch.
Yeah. All right. Good. So I mean, that's good that you've had that that communication. I'm interested. So yeah, I'll look into them for sure.
If there's not enough launch pads though, if there's only one, if somebody comes out first and everybody lines up there, does that give them too much power to like the gatekeeper?
Yeah.
I
mean, look, if you look around Algorand in general, like there is, we're limited right now. Tiny Man, and now you have AlgoFi Dex is basically, where you can swap. And Humble Swap will come. So, we're at the beginning. So if you got to hope that the free market works. So if, let's say, Yieldly comes out with a launch pad and they pave the way, it's hard to be first. They'll get a lot of that initial action like they are now. And then, like they did with the staking, and then they'll get that. And then hopefully a competitor will come up, and then, then, that forces projects to get better and be more friendly to their users. Yeah,
I agree. So I think that we're still in early stages. I'm still amazed every single week. And, for the last year, I've been telling myself, man, it's really early. Like in the Algorand ecosystem, like we're here first, folks. And
it's like, and even now we're still here first. Like this
we're
is
still
only,
here first. Yeah.
I mean, 2019 is not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, it just seems like everybody involved with Algorand's like we're just getting started. And like this is a big time. How are you doing? How are you, Cooper? This is good.
Perpetually early. That's what
perpetually. Well, yeah. And what's the saying? There's a very smart investment saying where it's like being early is the same as being wrong. So you gotta, if you're early, you gotta stick with it because you don't. When you're too early, when you sold everything in 2020 because of inflation. Well, okay, you might be right now, but you weren't for like 2 years. So
now go buy back in.
yeah, great job. Yeah, well, now you have your time to come back in. You're right. Actually,
there you go. Yeah. All right, that's all I got on our docket today.
That's it. Did we have any questions that we missed?
I'm
a little
think so.
I'm a little out of it today. I'm
looking through the chat. We got a lot of hey, what's up? Very nice. Cool. I'm gonna have to copy down that wallet. Watch the ANS balances change. Crypto for Change went out to the pool.
he went to his
show. He let us know. Thanks for letting us know. By the way, he's like I love you, cool, nerd, but I'm out.
Well, if he's gonna join the stream next week, I think it's only fair if he streams like from poolside.
Poolside, yeah, I agree. We're gonna have to fill him in because he's not watching anymore. All right. Yeah. So what? Same bat channel, same bat time next week.
Let's do it next week. 9 a.m. for me. What 11 for you? Right?
11 a.m. for me. 12 noon
Eastern.
And so many times. We'll have our coffee and cheers, and we'll do it again.
Are you guys doing the Algo Fam chat?
Yeah, we are. It's interesting. I got a few minutes before we can jump on, but so Bilal said, "Hey, I don't want to do it. I don't want to participate. There's a lot going on in Ukraine. I don't want to talk about finances right now. I 100% respect that. There's some people I think that do still want to have the conversation. So I'll jump on, have the conversation if everybody wants to. And I think I agree with Bilal 100%. So like, human life before finances, obviously. Of course. And if anybody wants to talk about how the Algorand community can be, impactful or make a positive change or anything like that, we'll save some time during the conversation. And I don't know, maybe we'll hop on and there won't be anybody there. And it'll just be me, Ibu, and Cody. And we'll just be talking to each other for a few minutes and be like, okay, peace out. Happy Sunday.
That seems unlikely.
Seems unlikely, but we'll see.
All right. Well, maybe I'll
hop in.
I probably won't. I probably won't hop in today.
All right.
Let's just. I'm not going to do the thing where I say I might come and I'm not. I'm not coming. I won't.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see you next week here, though.
Yeah, you'll definitely see me next week here. All right.
All right. Until then, let's keep drinking some coffee, man.
Let's do it. All right. Cheers, man.
All right. Cheers.